Hello friends, I am Bodha.
Hello friends, I am Tatwa. Bodha, I have a question for you. Do you know any love story where the couple loved each other without even seeing one another?
Tatwa, that is a beautiful question. There is indeed such a story. One of the greatest love stories of all time recorded in the Bhagavata Purana. It is the story of Ma Rukmini and Shri Krishna. Their love was not based on sight, but on virtue, devotion and destiny. Would you like to hear it?
Of course, tell me everything about it.
Let's begin from the start. King Bhishmaka of Vidarbha kingdom had 5 sons: Rukmi, Rukmabahu, Rukmakesha, Rukmanetra and Rukmaratha, and one darling daughter Rukmini. Rukmi, the eldest, played a crucial role in shaping her fate. Now, whenever Sri Mahavishnu incarnates to establish Dharma, Sri Mahalakshmi also takes birth on earth. Rukmini Devi was none other than the incarnation of Sri Mahalakshmi herself. Even as a child, her nature reflected her divine soul. She loved getting her dolls married, and after the wedding, she would give a feast to her friends and feed the needy. She loved swings, set up stands for climbers, and even taught good words to the parrots. She was innocent, kind, and full of grace. Soon she grew into a beautiful maiden.
But how did she come to love Krishna without ever even seeing him?
That is the beauty of true love, Tattva. She had never seen Krishna, but she had heard about him. From Brahmins and Vaishnavas who visited her father's place, she listened to the stories of Krishna's valor, kindness and divine nature since her childhood. Just hearing about him made her heart long for him. Her well-wishers and even her parents thought of getting her married to Krishna. But Rukmi strongly opposed the idea as he resented Krishna since he had killed Kansa, his friend. He thought that a mere Yadava cannot match the status of Vidarbha's princess. Instead, he arranged for her to marry Shishupala, the king of Chedi. Soon, Shishupala arrived in Vidarbha, accompanied by powerful allies like Jarasandha to claim her hand.
That must have been heartbreaking for Rukmini. What did she do?
To save her love, she did something bold and courageous. She called a Brahmin named Agnijyotanudu and gave him a letter explaining her situation. She begged him to deliver it to Krishna in Dwaraka. When Agnijyotanudu reached Krishna's palace, Krishna personally welcomed him, offered him great hospitality and asked, "Which kingdom have you come from? How are things there? What brings you here?" Agnijyotanudu answered all his questions and handed over Krishna Rukmini's letter.
The letter must have been filled with emotion. What did she write?
Her letter was not just an appeal, it was a prayer, a surrender of her soul. Hey Bhuvanasundar, I hope you do not judge me for writing this letter. I wish to marry you just like Sri Mahalakshmi chose to marry Sri Mahavishnu. What is the use of eyes that cannot see you, ears that cannot hear you, a voice that cannot sing your virtues, or a life that cannot serve you? I give my heart and soul to you and wish that you marry me. Just hearing your name eases all my pain and worries. Who needs riches, castles or positions if I have you? Just like a fox cannot take what a lion deserves, the prince of Chedi cannot marry me. I know you can defeat him and his allies in a blink. If I have been pure, righteous and just all my life, then Shishupala will surely be defeated by you. I request you to come and marry me. You might wonder how to reach me. My brother and relatives will stop you. So here's the plan. I'll go to Ambika Mata temple for worship. You must come there and take me away. This way there'll be no bloodshed and none can match your speed. If you do not come, I'll do every vratam to get you. But I'll not marry anyone else.
Oh, so lovely.
Reading the letter, Krishna smiled and said, "Even without this letter, I've already lost my sleep in love with her after hearing of all her virtues." Agnijyotanudu blessed him and said, "You're a perfect match for each other." Krishna ordered his chariot to be prepared and left for Kundinapur in Vidarbha. When Krishna's chariot entered Vidarbha, people were mesmerized by his divine presence. The people who loved their princess prayed that Rukmini should marry him instead of Shishupala. Meanwhile, Rukmini anxiously waited, wondering if Agnijyotanudu had reached Dwaraka, if he had handed Krishna the letter, and if Krishna would actually come for her or judge her. While she was drowned in her thoughts, Agnijyotanudu returned and said, "Your prayers have been answered, princess. Krishna has come for you."
Did Krishna actually come for her?
Of course, yes. On the wedding day, Rukmini went to Ambika Mata temple prayed to Gauri Devi, and donated sugarcanes and accessories to married women. Just as she finished her prayers, she saw Krishna entering the temple. He took her hand and lifted her into the chariot. The news spread instantly. Rukmini and Shishupala were furious.
Oh my god, did they try to stop him?
Yes, Rukmini was furious and immediately took off. Jarasandha, who knew how it was like to fight Krishna, advised Shishupala not to fight him, and they retreated. Rukmini chased Krishna, shouting, "How dare you elope with my sister? You're just a Gopalaka. What qualifications do you have to marry a girl of our clan?" He overtook Krishna's chariot and challenged him for a duel. Krishna, with a calm smile, listened to all with patience. When his shouting increased, Krishna raised his Sudarshan Chakra. Frightened, Rukmini pleaded, "Please do not kill my brother." Krishna obliged, but humiliated Rukmini, shaving his head, beard and moustache partially before tying him up to his chariot.
I can hear the wedding bells ringing. Where did Krishna and Rukmini get married, by the way?
They stopped at Madhavpur and got married before returning to Dwaraka, where they lived in bliss.
Bodha, this was such a beautiful love story. But I feel it's more than just romance. There's something deeper here, isn't there?
Tattva, I see that you've got on. Yes, Rukmini and Krishna's story isn't just about earthly love. It's a spiritual journey. Let me explain. Rukmini represents our mind. Her 5 brothers represent the 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, taste and smell. Shishupala represents worldly pleasures, things that attract us, distract us and try to take control of our mind. Shri Krishna obviously represents the Paramatma, the Supreme Divine.
Wait, so you're saying that our senses always try to push our mind towards material pleasures?
Exactly. Just like Rukmini tried to force Rukmini into marrying Shishupala, our senses constantly push our mind towards temporary worldly attractions, riches, status, material desires. But if the mind is nurtured in a good environment where it is exposed to wisdom, like how Bhishmaka listened to Brahmins and Vaishnavas, then it will naturally seek the Supreme.
And Rukmini's letter to Krishna? That's like a soul calling out for the God.
Yes, that letter symbolizes Sharanagati, the complete surrender. When the mind surrenders itself to the divine, just like Rukmini surrendered to Krishna, the Supreme immediately responds. Now here's where Agnijyotanudu comes in. Agnijyotanudu represents the Guru, the guide who leads the mind towards the right path. Without a Guru, the mind might not know how to reach the divine. But with the right guidance, just like how Agnijyotanudu carried Rukmini's message to Krishna, the path becomes clear.
And Krishna's arrival? That means when the soul truly calls for the divine, he always comes, right?
Yes, exactly. When a person abandons all doubts, distractions and fully surrenders, the Lord himself comes to take them away from worldly illusions, just like Krishna came to take Rukmini away from Shishupala. And their marriage? That represents the ultimate union of soul with the divine, the attainment of eternal bliss.
Wow, Bodha, this changes everything. Love isn't just about finding someone, it's about finding the right one. And in the end, nothing is more right than being one with the divine.
Absolutely. True love doesn't see status, wealth or appearance. Rukmini never saw Krishna, but she knew him. Krishna never doubted her devotion and came for her without hesitation. Love is about trust, faith and finding the one who truly understands your soul.
You know what, Bodha? I love you for who you are. I would still love you if you grew a tummy or lose a few feathers. Happy Rose Day!
Happy Rose Day to you too, Tattva. And Happy Rose Day to all the viewers. This Valentine's week, show your love by subscribing to Bodha Hots and sharing the video with your friends and foes.